Hey, Cole. It's me. I don't like the way we left things earlier, and I have a class in a little while, but can you just call me when you get back from wherever you are?
There you are. Why didn't you show up to our writing class?
I did. Late, except it didn't matter because class was canceled anyway. When did Ford decide to bail?
I'm not sure of the exact moment.
James thinks it has something to do with you. Are you giving Ford another chance?
Not in a million years. Not after what he did to Jessica.
I wish you'd gotten here sooner. I don't like to bleed in public.
Brody did this.
Well, he would have done more, but there are witnesses.
Was he okay when he left?
Okay. The guy found out that the kid he thought was his could be mine. It's pretty hard to see the sunny side of that.
What did Ford do to Jessica?
The same thing he always does. Got her into bed.
No way. Are we talking about the same Jessica, my cousin?
Oh, yeah. I know. I couldn't believe it either. But then Brody showed up and started wailing on Ford, and it all came out.
Oh, my God.
I know. Brody was crazed. He started accusing Ford of taking advantage of Jessica, and Ford couldn't even deny it. I was literally sick to my stomach.
That is so awful.
No. What's awful is that 2 seconds before Brody showed up, Ford was making this whole big speech about how he was going to change his life. He was going to be a better man for me. And then I come to find out that the whole reason he was getting himself tested at the hospital that day was because he was afraid that he had gotten hepatitis C from Jessica.
I just don't get it. I mean, she's so in love with Brody.
Yeah, now. But before.
When she thought she was a teenager?
I think Jessica probably went over to Ford's apartment on prom night looking for Christian, but ended up with Ford instead.
The night of the prom?
The same night that I caught him with Karen.
So after you left, he just...
Exactly. He hit on the next woman to walk straight through that door. It didn't matter that she didn't know who she was or what she was doing.
That's pretty disgusting.
Yeah, I don't know the half of it. Poor Jessica.
Hey, don't worry about Jessica. She's with Brody. She's getting married. She's happy. They're having a baby.
Yeah, a baby.
No, you're not saying.
Oh, that's exactly what I'm saying. That baby could be Ford's.
It all worked out. The baby was going to be Brody's no matter what. And I was fine with that. I wasn't going to say a word, and I thought you weren't going to say a word either.
I know.
I had a sonogram today, and Brody kept on looking at the picture, and I just kept on thinking about how he's going to get more and more attached. And then, what if he finds out that he might not be the father? I couldn't chance it. I couldn't keep on lying.
Well, for what it's worth, I told him I was staying out of it. I told him even if it was my baby, I don't want it.
Yeah, well, if it turns out that it's your baby, Brody might not want it either.
You know,
I want this baby to be Brody's more than anything else in the world, but wanting it is not going to make it true. If I lose him now, I don't...
at least you have hope. I've already lost Langston. We were making good progress, too. And then Brody shows up and makes me look like total scum. Now she won't even look at me.
So, 10 minutes, you'll have someone else. No big deal.
I don't want anybody else. I didn't know how much Langston meant to me until I tried living without her. And now because of you, she's out of my life for good.
Even after everything Brody said, Ford was still making excuses for himself, still saying that he'd changed. Like, it's supposed to matter that all that stuff with Jessica happened months ago.
If anything could scare someone into changing, I think that hepatitis thing could do the trick.
Are you defending him?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that people can change.
I guess you're right. Because I've changed too. I'm not the same fool that I once was. So I don't want to talk to Ford. I don't want to see him. I don't even want to hear his name. So please do me a favor and don't use the F word in my presence.
Okay. It's a deal.
Thank you. So anyway, why were you so late to class?
Cole showed up and he wanted to talk.
Well, that's good, right? Did you guys work things out?
Not really. I still can't believe that he knew my mom was in trouble and didn't tell me.
He was just trying to protect you.
I know.
So it's not a big problem and you guys can work it out.
The problem is that that's not the only thing coming between us.
Well, what else is there?
James.
Can I?
A couple snarky comments to James about us being in the same class together, and he brought up James' past, and it got awkward.
So Cole still sees James as a threat?
Yes, even though I keep telling him a million times that he has nothing to worry about. It's so frustrating. Do I get on his case every time he goes to St. Anne's to go see Hannah?
Oh, you don't?
Okay, maybe I have once or twice, but what?
Well, love is a battlefield, right? I mean, at least when you and Cole fight, you have what it takes to stay together. That's not like me and Ford. Just need to pretend that he never existed.
I told Langston I wanted to change. She was ready to believe me. But then Brody shows up and I'm dead in the water. Yeah, he put the worst possible spin on what happened between you and me.
It happened because you let it happen.
Jessica, you came to me. I didn't force you to do anything.
You knew I was messed up. You should have just told me to go home.
Right. Blame me for everything.
No, I can't. I wish I could, but I have to take some responsibility for this. I was hurt and angry, and I did something really, really stupid. We're both guilty. The only one that hasn't done anything wrong is Brody.
I'm sorry things aren't back on track yet. But when two people love each other, there's no problem too big for them to solve.
Have you been hanging out in the greeting card section lately?
All right, I don't care how lame it sounds, it's true. I mean, you and Cole have everything it takes to stay together.
Well, then why doesn't it feel that way? Every word that I say, he finds something in it that I didn't mean, and every word he says, I find a way for it to hurt my feelings.
Well, maybe you just need to, I don't know, erase the board and start over.
How?
Well, instead of focusing on the past couple of months, you should go back and remember what it was like in the beginning. How you felt when you first met.
We started out as friends, and I had no idea that friendship could turn into so much more.
I would.
But thank you for everything that you said.
Well, next time I'll just buy a card and save us both some time.
You were right, though. Cole and I should go back to the beginning instead of letting things get so complicated.
Yeah, well, here's to simplicity. Ford made things a lot simpler when he decided to back out of teaching this class.
The only reason he did that was so that he could go out with you.
Well, that's not gonna happen. I don't have to be in the same room with him now, and that's all that matters. I don't ever want to see him again.
Okay, bye.
You're not the only one who's hurt. I'm just saying.
Fine. Okay. I mean, you're not about to marry Langston, and she's not having a baby, so our situations are a little different, don't you think?
Where are you going?
I'm going to find Brody and pray that somehow he has the strength to deal with this.
Hey, it's obvious. He loves you.
Well, he used to. But now, I don't know.
Are you kidding? It's only because of you he decided to spare my life. So, don't give up on him. You guys are gonna get through this.
I hope so. With all my heart.
You could have told me you were going to blow off that writing class. I wouldn't have done the reading.
Sorry to inconvenience you.
Well, so do I still get to audit the class for free if my brother's not teaching it?
No, I changed my mind. I'm gonna teach it.
Dude, but I thought that you dropped the class so Langston wouldn't be your student and you guys could go out.
That was the plan. Looks like there won't be a conflict of interest after all.